I'm Adam Carolla, and I don't know about you, but my life wouldn't be complete without my Vermont teddy bear. Before I got my first Vermont teddy bear, I was a wreck, depressed, living in my mom's basement, if you could call that living, dead-end job, living hand to mouth, no resemblance of direction in my life, until one glorious day, I was given the gift of a Vermont teddy bear. Suddenly, colors seemed brighter, food tasted better. My ADHD vanished. I was a new man. Thank you, Vermont teddy bear, for saving my life. I'm Adam Carolla. It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book.
What the hey? Well, I'm making the last page of the first scene of Bonehead today. My name is Ryan O'Connor. I'm an illustrator, cartoonist. I'm doing my first graphic novel. This is page 22 of the story. And the next scene I start will be the first scene with our main character. I don't have a ton of time, so I'm going to try and burn through this real quick. I didn't even do the panels, though, I just realized, so we're going to get into that. All right, here we go. So, there's that. Okay, so there's Bonehead. Ain't he cute? Okay. And yeah, the next scene we start will actually meet him. This first scene is just kind of backstory on his boss. You know, I titled this stream Suffering. And I should have done that. I was going to try and leave this white. But, see, I'm rushing already. It's already a bad move. So the next couple days are going to be kind of hectic for me. I don't think I'll be on to stream, but we'll see. I will if I can, but I sincerely doubt it's going to happen. Got a lot going on, including Inktober, which I don't intend to sacrifice. I'm usually kind of religious about Inktober the past couple years. It's going to be rough the first couple days for me. I would normally do this with the brush, this part, but I think it is going to help me to just crank this page out. I really need to move quick. So I'm kind of regarding this as part of the panel on this one. What did I say? I started to say I called this stream Suffering, and I don't know if that directly had anything to do with it, but I burnt my hand today cooking some stuffed peppers, which were delicious. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to draw because I burnt my drawing hand. It's not very visible, but it's also not that bad. So he's frustrated here because he's trying to bring this frog to life, and it didn't work. And he just kind of brought upon suffering to a whole planet of people by stealing this orb from them that he thought was for the greater good. And now it doesn't work. So he kind of doomed all these people for nothing. Isn't that lovely? I guess I just like saying that. I say that all the dang time now. Look how I planned these brush strokes. Okay. Oh, wait. So there's one panel. All right. This camera is right in my face. overshooting things. So I might not have a lot to say today. I was trying to plan stuff and some stuff to say about suffering, but I'm trying to focus at the same time. I don't know. I also meant to look into the topic a little bit, but I didn't have time. I never seem to have. You know, it used to be. I found that just making a little time for everything, I would find that I had so much more time than I thought I did. And now I can't seem to find enough time in the day lately. It's very elusive. Daylight is so fleeting. I will say that I think it was Doc Hammer, one of the creators of Venture Brothers, in an interview I listened to recently, where he was talking about how he became crippled, right? Because he kind of quietly, he didn't talk about it a whole lot. He still hasn't said how it happened. There's barely anything that talked about it, but they showed up at a convention and he was in a wheelchair all of a sudden when before their last season premiered of the Venture Brothers, and he was saying in this interview I was listening to, he mentioned that in like he never has memories of pain, like when he thinks back on like even times times of his life, like pain is not what he remembers. And I realized that's true. You kind of don't remember pain. Like I can remember getting hurt and stuff. Sure, but pain isn't. It's like your your brain doesn't like that doesn't come with the memory, And so I was thinking about that when I burned my hand today, and because I was in the middle of cooking and I didn't want to like leave what I was cooking to go find something to put on it, and I just kind of like tolerated it for a while, and I was thinking about that, and I don't know, it was easy to put it out of my mind thinking about that. It's like, well, before you know it, your hand will be healed, and this pain will be like weaker than the memory of making this meal. You know what I mean? There's something that, I mean, that's kind of, it was a really comforting thing to hear in that interview. And it was kind of a helpful thought today. It still hurts a little bit now when I draw and I have something pressing right up against it, but you know. First of all, the joy in my life, people dwell on the suffering in life too much. People dwell on the bad times. People dwell on when they don't get their way and when things don't work out and the suffering in their life. But people don't pay enough respect to the joy in their life. And I found that just contemplating joy and contemplating things I'm grateful for has been one of the healthiest, most enriching things I've started actively partaking in my life lately. I think that will save your life. Just gratitude, just taking time every day, several times a day. Do it as often as possible to contemplate what you're grateful for, the blessings in your life, the joy in your life, what brings you joy, what brings you comfort. I'm telling you, it'll save your life. Because, like I always say, these are your days. You can't dwell on your misery, lest you have a miserable life. Embrace the joy in your life. And when you can't have joy in your life, just consider how fortunate you've been, and that this moment of suffering or trouble where you can't particularly find joy, just consider that to be a payment for all the wonderful things in your life. It's like you get to take so much for free that is good. Just lying in bed be one of the most wonderful feelings, isn't it? My nieces and nephews bring me great joy. Like overwhelming joy. Like I'm like less afraid of death when I see my nieces and nephews enjoying their life. Like it's their turn now. I had a good run, but now it's their turn. I don't know. I can't explain that too much. But there's something I heard on Harmontown. There's this guy, Seek Donnelly, that they would pull out of the audience every once in a while. Very rarely. I never checked out his comic, but he was a guy that had suffered, I forget, like an aneurysm or something. No, I don't know. He but he was kind of like losing his motor functions or his motor skills over time. But he's also trying to like retain them and make a comic. And remember him coming on one time. He talked about how his approach to life was give more than you take. And I really like that. And that's kind of how I try to go about life. Give more than you take. And I like to think that I get a lot out of life for free right out the gate. Nope. No questions asked. I get beautiful weather. I mean, not always. It's Illinois. But I love seeing trees. That sounds silly, but I love seeing trees. Someday down and I just look at the trees and they're so beautiful. I love looking at the sky. I love just taking in nature sometimes, and I love rain. I've talked about that before. I'm nuts for rain. I like just being in nature and just taking a moment to admire it once in a while. I like lying in bed. I like drawing. I like making up characters. And what a blessing that is. That a lot of people don't even get that one. Like I do. I love my brothers and sisters. It's like your suffering doesn't own you. And it's only worth the time you give it. I think is kind of what I took from what Doc Hammer said. It's like your suffering is only as good as the time you give it. I like that. So I try to dare to be happy in spite of bad circumstances or whatever trouble I might be in my life. Things go your way, but why should they? Like, how sacred is your way? How much do you frigging judgment in the grand scheme of things? That things should go your way. Like, it's not the Ryan show. As Modest Mouse once said, we're all in this together. Was that them? Whatever band. We're all in this together. It's not the Ryan show. Bad things get to happen to me. That's allowed. I get to be upset. That's allowed. Now, I'm not making an excuse to be upset around other people. I don't like when I give in to publicly being moody or making my bad mood of problems. That's not fair. Exactly. I don't like that. And I'm not saying I don't ever do that. I wouldn't say that. I do think about it when I do, and I wish I had better control of my emotions. I've talked about emotions before, where I don't trust my emotions. Anyone's emotions. I think emotions are largely liars. Maybe not all emotions, maybe not, but they're not representations of reality. Like, my anger is the best indication of that to me. Like, when I get angry, I'm usually like the most irrational I am. And I think you'll find that's probably true with you too. I'm just saying, don't get into suffering. It's you're allowed to suffer. Everyone's, you know, death will come for us all. So, this suffering we do in life, even that is a blessing. It's like our suffering didn't kill us. So, all things considered, our suffering itself is a blessing. So, yes, life can be sad, life can be troublesome, life can be hard. But sometimes it's nice to just think, or sometimes it's I think it's good to be able to feel anything at all, because it might not always be the case. I've also said before, I have pretty bad eyesight. I tremendously fear the day that my eyesight is taken away from me, or that my eyes, or my hands are taken away from me. And I can't draw anymore. That makes me so sad to think about. If I couldn't draw anymore. And some people, that happens. They're artists who love art more than me, I'll bet. Just look at me. I'm not disciplined to some extent, sure. But you know, I'm not winning any awards with this crap. But there's some people out there who are brilliant, brilliant artists. I messed up. I didn't put his helmet here. Brilliant artists who lose their hands or lose probably would have done this hand a little differently if I put his helmet there first. But sure. That work? Okay. Sort of. I know, like when you're angry or sad, it's kind of hard to be honest with yourself sometimes. It's like, I don't know, when I get mad at other people, um, I try to keep a sober head about it. Like, well, you know, if I truly looked at it from their perspective, like, is it fair that I'm getting mad at them? Maybe sometimes it is. But even then, it's like, well, you know, people are allowed to make mistakes. People are allowed to be flawed. If I'm not going to allow anybody else to be flawed, I better get my. And there's that sobriety. Like, you gotta be honest with yourself. It's like half the time it's like you only think that thought because you're you. Sometimes when I'm like, oh, can't get out of bed, I'm so exhausted, or, or like, man, this really has me feeling terrible or whatever. There was something I was saying to myself for a while. I'm Catholic, but like I think it, substitute it however you want, I suppose. But it's still true, even if you're not Christian. I would just tell myself sometimes, nothing compared to the suffering of Christ on the cross. And then I'd be like, yeah, I guess you're right. Get out of bed. Like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. Nothing. So, I feel so lousy. I don't want to get out of bed. Nothing compared to the suffering of Christ. True. I mean, substitute it with somebody else who suffered profoundly. It's not like, and even if you're an atheist, it's like it's not like he didn't suffer greatly for other people, no matter which way you look at it. Like how can I be so lazy in the face of history like that? I mean, there's war soldiers, the war heroes that truly loved their country so much that they died or had their hands, legs blown off for the love of the freedoms in this country and the people of this country. And I can't be bothered to get out of bed this morning. It's too hard. And look, I know everybody's got their thing, sure. I'm just saying, maybe looking at things from that perspective, maybe that'll be helpful to somebody. I hope. I don't mean to make anybody feel worse about their state. Because I know some people got some rough stuff going on, truly. But me, come on, I can stand to get out of bed. All I need is a thought like that to give me the push I need, you know. Maybe that's so. I'm just saying, maybe that's helpful to some people. Hope. Oh, I'm drawing way off screen. I'm so sorry. Oof. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. So don't give your suffering all that credit. Doesn't deserve it. But find joy where you can, as often as you can. Consider the joy in your life. And I sincerely recommend finding joy in just looking up around you. Look at the trees. Look how damn beautiful the damn trees are. I swear. If you just look for beauty around you, it'll overwhelm your heart. I find joy in the simplest things. I swear, it's there. Anytime you the absence of joy in your heart, just take a moment and see if you can find some. Do whatever you can to put despair out of your mind and find like simple, wholesome joy. Because any joy you get out of like drugs or alcohol, that's no good either. You need like non vice based joy, I want to say. The vice based joy, I would say, probably has its place. But that can also create plenty of despair itself. I'm very leery of stuff controlling me. And just being controlled by things. I haven't smoked a cigar in a couple months because I really enjoy them. But they're harmful. I don't want to get too into cigars. I'll probably have one on my birthday in a couple weeks. Like, you can't give too much power to things like that. Like finding joy in the company of others. Something I like is listening to people talk about things they're passionate about. Like, even if I have no interest in it, I like hearing people I guess just talking about their own joy, really, I guess is what it is. Like when their voice, or when they're they start talking really fast about a subject, and their eyes light up, and they start moving their hands and getting all into what they're talking about. That makes me so happy. It's like, because I know that so well. I'm into like all kinds of stuff nobody else cares about, and so it's especially when it's something I don't care about. I just get this big old smile on my face when somebody starts talking about, like, really excited about something that they're telling me all about it. I really don't care, but it makes me happy how happy this weird thing makes them. Like they're talking about electrostatic motors or something. Like, oh yeah, you don't say. Um, uh, yeah. I have a lot of friends who they kind of fancy themselves as being antisocial. And I kind of am too. I kind of shy away from conversation, and I don't know how to keep a conversation going a lot of times. And I can be kind of awkward and shy. But but I'm always telling my friends, yeah, sure, antisocial, but it's, first of all, nothing to pride yourself on, and it's not a it it's a bad impulse to separate yourself from other people, you know. I get it. there's a comfort zone there. But, kind of like I was saying about suffering to begin with, it's how why shouldn't I be uncomfortable when soldiers are getting their legs torn off for my freedom? Why shouldn't I be uncomfortable when Jesus died for my sins or something? As an example, I don't know, that's just at the front of my brain. But you know what I mean. Like, stop rolling your eyes. You pagan. Like, don't dismiss good points, by the way, when they have a hint of Christian values in it. Like, if it's a good point, it's like you know what we're talking about. Like, you can still appreciate it from a secular perspective. You just roll your eyes. That gets on my damn nerves. And I'll say this about the Bible: you can take all the fantastic stuff out of it that you want. It's still a remarkable insight to. You can take all the fantastic stuff out of the Bible you want. It's still a remarkable insight to the human heart, the nature of the human heart. I'm drawing off screen again. I heard something Norm Macdonald said on some old interview I was listening to, I think from 2012. Where he was saying, like he'd watch Leave It to Beaver or something. He was like, man, look how different all these people were from us. It's only been 30 years, and look how different everybody is than they are today. And then he'd read like Tolstoy, right? And he'd be like, man, like, when is Tolstoy from? I don't even know. So he. Like 1900, like 100 years ago. Yeah. He'd be like, no, man. These people are like talking about the same stuff we're all talking about today. Like, I don't love my wife. My children don't respect me. Like he's like, it's like people haven't changed. Leave It to Beaver's a lie. people have been the same this whole dang time. And I'll say this. I had the same thought when I read the Bible. I was like, holy cow, I can't believe these people in the Bible are exactly the same as me and the people I know. And it's a tremendous insight to the human heart. And it's very wise, very profoundly insightful on the human spirit. And it's worth reading for even the atheists. It's like, how are you going to be an atheist if you never even read the effing Bible? So you didn't even look. It's like what a crock of shit. Like if you call yourself an atheist and you haven't cracked open a Bible, you are the biggest fool I've ever heard of. It's like you didn't even look. I don't know. I could probably collect my thoughts on that and make a better case about that, but oh yeah, okay. So trying to think of what I want to do on my birthday. I usually at some point I'll stop and get myself a shake, like probably a peanut butter cookie dough shake or something like that. Probably be playing music. I will do a page. I will certainly do at least a page of my comic. I will do an Inktober drawing. If I'm lucky, I'll see my family. It's a Monday. I know I'll see my family on Sunday at some point. But I treat my act. Probably read the Bible. I'm telling you, gratitude. Gratitude is key to happiness, and you know what? I don't know. I like showing my gratitude to God. It's got really got real Christian-y in here. But that's okay. We're worldly people. Here, you, me. We love this kind of stuff. With apologies, I'm gonna have to call it in a minute here. Say I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow or the next day because tomorrow is a birthday party for my nephew, and the following day is a wedding for my cousin. And those days are going to be jam-packed with stuff for me. So if you don't see me, that's why. But next time I'm on, I will finish this page if I don't finish it in the next 10 minutes here. Which I won't. But I will finish this page and I will start the first Bonehead scene. The next page, but he is on the page after that. We'll be introduced to Bonehead and his buddies. And if you like this stuff I'm drawing, and especially if you like the thumbnail art on my videos, check out my Twitter and Instagram. The links are in the description. Also, please, before you do that, check out my good friend Kat's. Her first Kickstarter is in the description. She designed this Mothman pin, enamel pin, and that's already funded. If you back now, there's a couple days left. You can back it and get yourself a cool Mothman enamel pin. I'm really excited about this campaign of hers. She's almost up to $1,000. I'm so happy for her. Let's get her. But yeah, that's my good friend Kat. I don't know if I said it. That campaign's only got 8 days. Please get in before it is too late. I've got a little bit of time. I'm sorry, I keep drawing off screen. Also, tomorrow, Inktober starts. Can't believe it's already here. I am going to do something for the prompt. The official prompts by Jake Parker. I like to do his prompts. He's the guy that started Inktober. I like Jake Parker. So I'm going to be doing Crystal tomorrow. Is the first one. I don't know what I'm going to draw. but I try to. I like doing all black and white ones for Inktober. It kind of hits the point home on the ink part. My first one, I colored the first half of them or so, and I felt like it was taken away from the ink part. And I kind of want I like to do drawings that uh, carries its own weight. So I'll be doing black and white drawings. It'll help me get the drawings out a little more regularly. Lately, I feel like doing this book. The coloring is what keeps me from posting stuff for stuff not being colored yet. So maybe that'll help, even though I tend to sometimes get very elaborate with my, like a good bit more elaborate with my sketchbook drawings on Inktober. But yeah, I'll come up with something tomorrow. Like I say, tomorrow is going to be jam-packed. I gotta find ways to squeeze that in, but I will certainly be doing my best to. All right, I'm gonna call this. I gotta hop off here, but I will finish these last two panels the next time I'm on. All right, take care, everybody. Gotta wash my brush and get a move on. Whoa. Anyway, see you later. Be good. Give your mother a hug. She loves you so, even if she can't tell you as much. She can't bear the thought of telling you for some reason. All right, be good.